Wow, am I ever late again? So I guess you could assume I kind of died again, and I would say the usual, oh, I have plenty of Phoenix Downs and such which and whatnot, but I have used so many of them, I think the Phoenixes got angry with me and stole my stash, and the last time I died, I got stuck, so I guess just the will of wanting to do another video again made me come back to life yet again! Yes! But I guess I'm technically a zombie now because I didn't use a Phoenix down, so I guess I'll leave the poor birdies alone. Don't worry, I think you're good though, because I haven't been craving brains or anything at all. Maybe not chopping in it, but anyway. So I finally went on to the next MMORPG, and this one's called Divina, a 3D cartoony anime-inspired MMORPG, developed by Playku, I think it is, and published by US Bean Fun. Hopefully I will get back into doing it with normal times and not do it extremely dragged out. So anyway, they only have one server at the moment, but they finally did put in another PvE focused server at least, because before there's only one and it was constantly crowded. I won't be making a new character to show you guys, but I will. And there's my person right there. But I won't be making another character to play. Instead I'll be showing you this one. It's only level 13, but as long as I'm in the game already, there's a couple of things I can already show you. And another thing that's already noticeable right there says play 2 characters for free and create up to 5 characters, so I guess you pay real money to unlock the other characters, but I guess it's not really necessary, especially because of the class switch system, which I will get to in a minute.
You got good taste.
So, let's see the character creation. Well, actually, the first thing you notice is probably like the graphics of the characters. I think they're very clean and they are cutesy and cartoony style, but I like how smooth and clean they are. I'm not sure if that's the right kinds of description to put them, but that's just what comes to mind. Along with that puffer fish air balloon thing. So yes, anyway, you have the knights. You've got the cleric with the cute little star wand that they can flip like a baton. I wish I could do that. And you've got the sorcerer, of course, magic-y, offensive type. And you have the machinist. Anyway, that's my class. You shoot giant happy bullet bills to inflict damage. It's like a replacement archer type, just a little bit slower. And of course you have the assassin. Oh god. But does being they're like literally in their underwear. Seriously, they don't have any pants on. I'm sorry, but that's no. And assassins are cool and all, but I mean, come on. That's just me though. And also, I noticed that during each I'm switching to a different class. There's also a class video for each, but I'm not going to watch it because it'll probably destroy my recorder for a moment. But there's also a path that you get to choose, I think at level 20. So you get to choose for Knight, a Guardian, or Destroyer, which is more focused on offense or defense. And you have skill points you get every other level or so. And you get to customize your character a little bit more. Like, for example, my Machinist that I got in the closed beta, I'm not in closed beta, actually I had it in the early open beta, but I had to delete it because I massively screwed up, which I was probably kind of upset about. So I recommend lightly that you look at character builds, even if you don't like to, because I certainly don't like to. I tried to make the character on my own, but then I found out it was completely useless. That has some lime green hair. So yes, you can still try and make it if you want, but there are some stats that are apparently completely useless, so you should look it up if you don't want to wait 2 to 3 days for character deletion. So yeah, there we go. Each class has 2 skill trees. I don't know of any class advancements yet. I just know of the dual class type of system they have. As far as starting customization goes, yeah, I know I'm hopping all over the place because this game actually has quite a lot of topics and I'm kind of just jumbled. Which one should I do first? So I'll probably be all over the place, but I think when am I not all over the place? So starting customization isn't too bad for a start. I mean, there could always be more, but there's most likely more options in the cash shop by now. You do get to choose the default color of your starting outfit, which is nice. Most times you can't, but I guess because you can in this one, because that starting equipment isn't bound to just your class. Because I found the clothing merchant in the town, and you can wear pretty much any kind of equipment you want because it's just cosmetic. Your stats are just in the Divine Wheel, which I'll also show that later. But the character voices, they actually have some pretty well-known voice actors, even though I personally don't know too much about them except for Laura Bailey from Fruits Basket. I think Michelle Ruff is from, what is it? Bleach?
Let's be off.
If you can hear that.
I'll do my best.
Maybe.
Let's be off.
I'm not too sure. They have 2 voice options for each gender, but the Laura Bailey one, they kind of sound exactly the same to me.
Leave them to me. Let's kick some butt.
Yeah, don't they? I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of doubt it because they really do sound pretty close the same. Let's just change genders to see which the males get.
Ready to go.
So, Yuri Lowenthal? I don't know his name.
Me? Let's go.
He sounds, dang it, he sounds familiar, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't watch dubbed animes too often, but I do know crap. I'm not going to say his last name because I'm going to screw it up.
Understood.
But I do know him.
Here we go.
So anyway,
Leave them to me.
that was the basis of the character creation, and now I'm just going to get in and show you the game before I ramble on too much about nothing. You get a random monster graphic sprite thing as you wait for the thing to load. Hopefully, I'm hoping I won't lag too much. Items. Okay, apparently when you first log on, you get a fortune every time you log in. So you just double click to see what it is. Last time I got lucky, this time I doubt I will. Well, that was a creepy face. He said, ooh, it's your lucky day for sure, but... Oh, he lied. Holy crap, I have no luck today. That's bad luck. No wonder he made a face, he was lying to me. Either that or he stole my good luck and swapped it, evil bunny. Okay, so now that I am in the game, I can finally show you a couple things. So... First of all, it's, you won't see this area when you first start out as your character, because this is actually, when you reach level 10, you should be able to see here. I don't know too much about the story just yet, other than...
Take this.
I'm kind of distracted by the colorfulness of this. But you kind of go 50 years into the past to prevent some disaster ever happening. Because when you come to this place earlier, and it's all gloomy and dead looking, so you're here 50 years into the past to try and reverse it. Darn it, you can't see the happy bullet bills now. So yes, anyway, you can move with WASD. It works really well. I do have to actually comment about working really well, because some WASD movements don't work, they're too twitchy, or they just feel awkward. But you can also point and click to move if you're trying to save your W key from moving forward and such. Now, as I was talking about the stats, usually equipment is important for making your character stronger, but in this case, it's actually this little Divine Wheel right here. Actually, that's not the Divine Wheel, shoot. I mean, these are the stat points that you do get every level, but you do get the Divine Wheel, which is in your inventory, and you get little cores and keys for it. The core is the main piece of it, and keys kind of form around in 4 pieces. That increases your defense, your attack, your stats, whatever. If you're lucky, you'll find good ones for monsters, but usually you make them. I mean, you can buy them, but they're usually not worth it. And since it's right there, I'll get to that real quick. Oh god, lag. Yeah, there are people mobbed around this thing. But speaking of making things, this is essentially the basic, or the base for crafting, you kind of go to the weapon card resources that are appropriate for your level range. This one's 11 to 20. I double click it and it costs 1 gold for each time, and apparently there's a success rate. It's not always 100%, but it's pretty high, and this is it. Personally, I don't care for this kind of crafting thing because I'm not really doing anything much. Excuse me. But to me it seems like AFK crafting. You wait 20 long Mississippi seconds to see if you get one or not. And to make some good weapons, or if you want to make things multiple times to increase your crafting levels, you're going to want to stockpile a ton of cards, and that's going to take a long time. So basically you just leave it there to gather, and you do other things. So some people might like AFK crafting. I kind of do and don't at the same time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The other one is also the core crafting. You don't get to make little keys for it. I guess you just have to be lucky and hope you find keys, but you make your basic cores with the core resource machine thing. The battle system, you could probably tell, is, yes, point and click, and it's based on hotkeys and such, but you know, that shouldn't be anything that no one shouldn't expect by now. And this game actually has something else going for it. I wish I had enough to show you, but I don't think I do. It actually has a creature tome, well, over halfway. Creature tome is like a book which holds certain monsters in its pages. And even though it's kind of grindy with the aspect, you find certain monsters from certain places, even dungeons and bosses. And after you kill them enough times, you'll gather information on them. And once it's 100%, you can transform into them. Some of them are more useful than others. Oops, it went out of range. Like, for example, are more useful than others. I don't have the monster with me right now, but I did before. And it's kind of like a little chicken. And every few minutes as you're transformed as them, or a few seconds, you'll get an egg item. I forget if it was just for selling. No, actually I think you could recover your health with it. So as long as you stay transformed as that, you would get a free recovery item, which is cool. Some of them, I'm not sure if they have increased battle prowess and stats, but they don't say. Most of them just seem cosmetic. But I have seen GMs host events, something like show up as this monster first or something. Unfortunately, I think there's a slight delay with fighting. It could be my recorder, or it could be because traffic's starting to come. But yeah, it's a slight delay, but it's way worse when there's actually a lot of people on. But here it's manageable. I love my giant happy bullet bills. Let's see if I can show you. Like here. Boom! I don't know why I find that so amusing that they're just like happy bullet bills I'm shooting. And my magic points are getting fairly low. And unfortunately, most MMOs you can sit to try and recover most of your health, but you can't really here. You have to use like food to gradually, or more quickly gradually increase your health and mana. And the inventory has a freaking password system. What? Oh, come on. Are you serious? Jeez. Anyway, for some reason the inventory has the password system. I guess in case you get hacked, they don't have access to your stuff, but just have a decent password in the first place and it won't happen. There you go. Okay. Finally I can show you some inventory things. And that is the core thing. You get some free ones when you level up as part of the story quest when you first get out, and they're fairly good, but hopefully you'll find better ones or make your own cores. But yeah, you can see that these are your basic, these are your real equipment. They increase your defense and important stats for your certain class. And these you can change out whenever you want. I actually got a knight helmet, a free knight helmet, but I didn't like it because you couldn't see the character's face, so I bought this little adventurer's hat because it looked better. Unfortunately, this is not a game where you have invisible artillery or ammo and have to buy some, but it's pretty cheap. And the items with the question marks on it, they are actually unidentified items, so you don't know what they are until you, well, identify them. I actually kind of like those systems because it makes you kind of excited wondering what they could be. I really need to get my magic points back. There we go. Another system that's worth noting in this is the Sidekick system. I haven't opened them yet, but you have a choice of two between the Sweet Mouse and the Shy Bunny, I guess. It's a shame that there's only two of them, but maybe there'll be cash up ones later, but I kind of doubt it.
Too easy.
I haven't seen any yet. But Sidekick system is kind of like a pet system, but it's pretty in-depth. The Sidekick can level up 10 levels above you, and depending on the stats you have at study, it actually changes its own class, and it has 2 other class changes after that. So that's 3 class changes in total. And it performs better, you know, the more favor it has, and also it won't complain as much, which I guess is nice. And, let's see. The Sidekicks can also do other things. I read that it can even collect the card refinement things for you at some point, maybe? I'm not sure if I read that correctly, to be honest. But it would be awesome if it did, because I can have them collect and I can kill stuff.
Take this.
Apparently they can also go regular item or treasure hunting. They can refine ores. There's a decent amount of things they can do, and you'll probably be having the Sidekick through the whole game, so I actually like how it has so much in-depth features with it. You can have mini conversations with them to try and increase their favor towards you, but you can only really guess and when you find the right one. I usually forget by the next time you can have a conversation, because it happens every 30 minutes that you're allowed to have a conversation with them. And of course, like usual MMORPG fashion, they have guild systems. The thing that's kind of, I'm not sure. Okay, it disappeared, but it made sense. A mush bunny shouldn't be around there. But anyway, I keep losing my train of thought because it seems like there's so much to this game, and it was easier when I read it all at the site. Oh my goodness. And I am honestly out of practice, and being in zombie mode isn't helping. Brains. Wow, mush bunny brains. Ew, it probably sounds really gross. Anyway, the guild, I actually didn't read any PvP systems about it. It seems more PvE focused, unless I missed it. But you do have guilds, and you know, guild type of domain things, they call it. It's something everyone works towards increasing. You can have your own resources and special buffs when you level up enough. And if you get to level 20 and you're in a guild that's at least level 2, you get your own private domain for your player. They can also be shared with a guild or whatever, but it can also help get gold on the side with production and such. And when that happens, that means I finally have I have 100% completion for it. You roll your mouse over the little silhouette type of thing to see if it does anything special, but looks like I just transform into it to look cute. The whirlybird is the one that has the ability, and I don't know any other ones that have abilities yet. I didn't get too far. All the skills you learn, you just, until you get to level 20 and you choose which specific skills you want to improve by special skill points. Other than that, you just pay for them by the skill masters. As long as you do the quest, you should have plenty of money for what you want to get. Oh yeah, and it's something you should make notice of if you want to make sure you're in a guild and everything. If you leave the guild, you won't be able to access your private space for your character. So you have to make sure you're in a guild that will, I guess it said, grow with you in the long run. I guess that makes sense. Let's see. Oh yes, finally, the quick change system. God, why did it take me so long to mention it? It's pretty cool, but those of you who have played Eden Eternal, or even, what's it called? It's like a free-to-play World of Warcraft. Runes of Magic, that's it. There we go. I finally remembered. They both have some kind of dual class system, but Eden Eternal has a specific class change or swap system.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like that, but you choose one other class at level 30. Yes, level 30. And you can even change in battle as long as you have the EP points for it. Unfortunately, I'm not that far in the game, which I probably should have been so I can show you. But there is no restriction to choosing which class you want. You can be whichever you want, though some people will probably be, probably choose which is best for them, like maybe a cleric for a backup healer so they can always heal themselves. Or maybe, I don't know, you can do both magic classes to be the ultimate magic person. So you can be like a healer and a damage dealer. And the interesting thing about it is you can even choose your subclass as the same exact class, so I can do double machinist if I wanted to. If anything, it's just because, like for example, if you choose a double knight, each of the hit points and magic points is individual to each little class. So it's like if I were to switch classes right now and I have those little bits of damage on me, if I switched, I would be in full health because they're completely different. Even when they appear, they're up to level 25, and they have their own equipment, divine core and keys, and skills. And they're for some reason, well, not for some reason, it probably helps the grind, but they even get double experience on your subclass. So there's actually a lot of different ways you can approach it, and I actually like how deep it can be. It didn't say anything about your stats, so I assume that your basic stats, like these, carry over. So I'm trying to think of a combination that could help. Like for me, I'm trying to think that maybe I'll be a tanky type of knight, because I'm mostly going to be a trapper for my machinist instead of just a sharpshooter. So I use my powerful traps, and I guess I mostly watch them die before me as I put my landmines and powerful traps there. So with that, I'm going to need lots of hit points and possibly defense. And I'm not very useful when the enemies are up close either way. So being a knight would be pretty helpful, especially if they're tanky. So I lay down all my traps, switch to knight when they get close, and lay some hurt down while they're getting hurt by their traps. But you know, I still have to be careful about it. So I just really like that. It just seems like it's pretty in-depth.
Take this.
The really only thing I'm unsure about is the crafting thing, but you know, half AFK system, it's kind of good because, you know, crafting, I'm usually not into crafting anyway. I usually completely ignore it, but you know, it's good for AFK crafting if you want to be doing something else. Okay, I did the crafting, I did. Oh, the important information, you can jump. Yes, because not jumping is kind of lame. I don't know why we like jumping so much. It's just fun to jump around. Oh, and the B is the cash shop, which is just kind of odd for me. Usually I'm used to it being the opposite, like B for bag and I for item shop. You know, it makes kind of makes sense. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I got most of them. Oh no, wait, aha! I didn't get something. It's just something I just recently read and I thought I would forget, but I didn't. Mwahaha! Take that, zombie brain of forgetfulness. There's actually another thing I remember called ally relationships. Once you're level 28, you can take a quest from Clarice. She's a special NPC that's close to the story and such. But as long as you have someone on your friends list that also completed those completed that quest, as long as you party together, your ally relationship will increase every minute you spend partying. And once you get to sorry about that. Once you get to 100, it increases by a heart. And when it increases once you get to level 6, like 6 total hearts, you can do goddess quests together, which I guess can do special rewards and such. And there are instance dungeons. I haven't run into any yet, but the creature tome system, it makes you curious about it. I'm randomly jumping to that because I did mention you can do special monsters and even elites and bosses. Although it's going to take multiple runs to get it, but you're going to have some slight bragging rights running around as that monster, with even if they have special abilities. So yes, that is very helpful. And that was a random noise, sound like a bubble pop. But anyway, I think I covered just about everything. Sorry I couldn't really show you guys too much. I probably got a little bit annoyed at the game because I had to wait 3 days for my character to delete, which personally I don't like. When I'm ready to delete a character, I'm ready to delete it and start over from scratch right there. So I guess make sure you do your characters the way you want them to, or make sure that the stat thing doesn't bother you, because as mentioned, apparently some stats are worthless, because I put all of my stats into perception, I would assume, because it affects accuracy, which is helpful for anything shooters in general, but I found out it apparently is completely useless. So that kind of sucked. So hopefully I'll be able to do a couple more videos of the game and show you anything I could have missed, anything I'm on higher level, maybe when I do have my own dual class. So anyway guys, byes.